so many women here on YouTube either working through or celebrating being single in their senior years. Now, the average life expectancy for difference between men and women is 7 years, and I'm married to a man 7 years younger than myself. This wasn't planned. I didn't seek out a younger man, but the math works for me. I was single for almost 18 years after my first marriage ended in divorce, and I enjoyed some very fulfilling friendships in that time. I'm especially lucky to have a great relationship with my sister, and during those years, we lived in very close proximity to one another, and I have wonderful memories of those years. I still consider her my very best female friend. One of these women who I follow on YouTube that's, a senior and single, she's 50 and she lives off grid in a cabin in the woods in Maine. I am in awe of her capabilities, self-reliance, and stamina. She talks about a wide variety of topics such as living off the grid, being single at her age and internet dating, being estranged from her child, and life in general. Another wonderful woman who's about 70, she lives in a beautiful tiny home in her daughter's backyard, and she posts often of her struggles, her concerns and successes of being single and making it day to day emotionally and financially. She's a lovely woman who is discovering at her age that she's a gifted painter. I love her honesty, directness, and her approach to her struggles. Yet another woman that I love to follow is in her 70s. She seems to have had a really successful career. She has a wonderful channel, and which in her description reads in part, a community of vibrant, active seniors who are interested in a wide variety of topics: fitness, travel, relationships, hobbies, food, and finances, and who have no interest in slowing down. She shares many of her interests and sides to being single. A lovely woman in her 60s shares her life, thoughts, and challenges with, and I quote, "No fluff, just real talk and a bit of wisdom gathered along the way. Grab a cup of coffee and settle in. Let's walk this path together." All of these women are so wonderful. I really enjoy these and several other channels that encourage and embody what it's like to be 50, 60, 70, and older as a single woman. The best example of being single after 50, 60, and older that I have witnessed in my life is my mother. My mother was single for 31 years. And when I say that out loud, wow, that's such a long time. And she dated once or twice after her divorce, but that was it, just twice or so. At one point, she even considered, because she's such a staunch Catholic, she even considered becoming a nun. She didn't have a particularly great marriage to my dad. He's the only man she'd ever been with, and was very leery of men in general after their contentious 31-year marriage and subsequent divorce. But I did see her develop friendships with other single women that were just wonderful and so healthy. They went on cruises together, met for breakfast every Sunday, played mahjong weekly, enjoyed engaging games of Scrabble, played cards, and had a book club. They celebrated the marriages of their children and the births of their grandchildren. I consider her very lucky to have had these lovely women in her life. Even in the last Sunday of her life, her friends gathered via Zoom with my mother from her hospital bed for their annual or weekly Sunday breakfast. For about 6 years after she sold her large home, she lived in a 55 and older community in a condominium. And the women would dine together every Saturday evening. It was so cute. They would bring their tray tables and their food and drinks out into the little common area in the hallway and have a lovely time together. Now, if I were to have a circle of friends like that, I might not mind being single. But I really enjoy the company of my husband, and I'm very grateful to have a happy and healthy marriage. There are many challenges faced by single women of all ages, but I think that being 50, 60, 70, and older has far more difficulties. The National Institute of Health has a whole list of things. Here's just a few. Financial insecurity and the risk of poverty, housing instability, and the cost of maintaining a residence on your own. And then there's health challenges and self-care when you're by yourself, and navigating major life transitions when you're by yourself. Now, I have no idea what the future holds for me, and I can only hope and pray that my husband and I are together for a very long time and have a long and healthy life together well into our golden years. But if I should have to go it alone, I have a really wonderful example in my mother to reflect upon. Aging itself can be overwhelming at times, and doing it alone to me seems beyond overwhelming. Please comment down below about how you feel about the possibility of being single, actually being single, or even the challenges of being married in your 50s, 60s, and 70s. Chime in below with your thoughts and comments, and I'll see you the next time.